want to make it? You want to make a?
Yeah, maestros. We got maestros on it. You didn't give your great stat. Philly's defense is terrible against no huddle.
Guess who's not huddling? New England.
Would you stop?
You know, he's wearing the same suit. He taped that 10 minutes ago. That's why it's so accurate. Welcome back. Joined now by Fox NFL analyst Mark Schlereth, founder of the Big League, Jason McIntyre. Let's return to, of course, the Super Bowl, where Nick Foles took home the MVP after a stellar performance. 373 yards, 3 TDs, but his numbers actually look pedestrian next to Tom Brady's. Of course they did. 500 yards, 7 passes at 25 yards or more, 23 passing first downs. Good Lord. And by the way, rushed repeatedly. I know the Patriots lost, but should Brady have been the MVP?
No, and hell no. And, you know, one guy trailed most of the game. That's why he threw more. And one guy was facing a defense whose secondary seemed clueless and or totally afraid of getting a pass interference call and letting the referees take the game over. Nick Foles had one of the all-time great Super Bowl performances.
Oh, boy.
Tom Brady had some nice stats. Kyle, you do know the first half actually counts in football.
All I know is blind resume. If you and I apply for a job and you don't have any friends in the company and your dad didn't work there, if we just apply for a job blind resume, the best resume should win. 135 yards passing, less of a running game, having to play from behind, and Philadelphia's got a better pass rush. Tom was hurried 9 times. Foles was largely untouched. More big plays down the field. Oh, yeah, Brady lost his best receiver in the second quarter. And also, Brady had, for the first half, to keep Gronk in to chip block because they were concerned that Philadelphia's pass rush would overwhelm New England. So they kept Gronk in to chip block for an hour.
Name me the top 4 passes completed in that game. The passes that anybody will remember and talk about. They're all thrown by one guy.
The Chris Hogan touchdown. You don't remember that one? It was a perfect throw.
Hey, it's wide open like all the other
Well, there is
Patriots.
that one you were given that the guy's touch, controversial. Chris Collinsworth said, "I give up." That's the most memorable touchdown to me.
The problem with the blind resume is, from your reference, you were blind while you were watching that game. You didn't actually, like, I look at, if you want to make an argument, you don't make it for Brady. You want to make an argument, make the argument that the offensive line of the Philadelphia Eagles was the MVP. You watched them pick up blitzes. You watched them dominate the line of scrimmage. Do you know how great it is to be on offense? And you'll attest to this. When it's 2nd down and 4 every time, because you're getting 6 yards a clip when you run the ball, and you're in situations, favorable situations, 3rd down and short, where your whole playbook is open from a conversion standpoint.
Look at that throw.
Yeah, well,
I couldn't make that.
Listen,
Come on.
Brady was phenomenal. There is no question.
Brady was good.
5 football fields.
Yeah.
Trailing most
Brady
of the
was
game.
good.
Yeah.
Hey, man, one guy converted 10 of 16 third down.
Yeah, when you don't face a pass rush.
No. That means he got in 3rd down situations 16 times. The New England's defense wasn't nearly as horrible as you think. And again, I'm not saying they were great, but Nick Foles was phenomenal.
And the other thing is, Nick Foles threw dudes open.
Yes.
Like, those were good throws, but they were wide open receivers. By the way, I could pick out 4 or 5 balls that Brady threw that were woefully inaccurate. Behind the receiver, could have been intercepted. I thought Nick Foles was exceptional.
Throwing into tight windows all day.
Throwing guys
the
open,
one thing
yes.
You miss on the resume. This guy just started like 2 months ago. Okay, he's been with 3 teams in like 5 years. This is a guy who for 2 weeks we said, oh, Belichick, the greatest adjuster in NFL history. Halftime adjustments. What did he do to Matt Ryan last year? Confounded him. Falcons did nothing in the second half. So we expect all these adjustments for Foles. What did Nick Foles do in the second half? Lights out. He out-Brady's Tom Brady on the final drive in the fourth quarter. 7-minute drive to win the game. Brady gets the ball back twice. What happened? Nothing. Fumble, Hail Mary, incomplete. I mean, Nick Foles, by far the MVP, I think.
I always think, what do you do with what you have? I think when you lose, he literally lost Gronk in the second half against Jacksonville, and he lost Brandon
Has
Cook
no
here.
impact on this game.
Well, I mean, to me, it's just like if you lose your best coworker and you still overcome it and you throw 500 yards.
You mean like Jason Peters, who's going to the Hall of Fame?
Yeah. Or
Brandon
Darren
Cooks, where's he
Sproles.
going? I mean, Brent Sproles could be another Hall of Famer as well.
Well, who had the better defense? Who had the better O-line?
I'm not sure either defense has anything.
Right.
The Eagles' defense, again, Brady said it. They made one play. He's not. They did.
Right.
The Eagles' defense was not great.
He had the ball. His first 3 drives, going in with 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter, was 3 drives, 3 touchdown drives, all I think 75 yards plus on each one of those. I will tell you this though, roster-wise, the Eagles are a better football team. Roster-wise, you go man for man, there's no question. But to come in there, Nick Foles, come on. Nick Foles has been a backup. He had the one great year with Chip Kelly. He went to the Rams. He was awful. Basically asked for his release. Went and did a football rehab year in Kansas City.
Quit football.
Right. He wanted to quit football. Comes back, and then he's thrust into this. And he wasn't very good the last 2 games of the regular season. And Doug Peterson sits down. His staff goes back to that Chip Kelly time when he went 27-2, touchdowns, interceptions, really re-implemented some of that kind of RPO, collegiate style mix, kind of amalgamate that with a pro style of offense. And this kid has been phenomenal since the first quarter of that divisional playoff game. That is 11 quarters in a row where he has been lights out.
He made throws on the move. Look, the 4th down throw to Ertz won the game.
What was a pick?
No, it was it was the only place where Ertz could catch the ball and get the first. It was an incredible play. Nick Foles, as well-deserved an MVP as there ever has been in the Super Bowl. Coming up at the 30, are the Eagles going to keep Nick Foles or get rid of him? I think I know what's going to happen. That's